Today I'm going to be reviewing one of the most evil characters ever created. I'm reviewing the Batman Who Laughs premium format from Sideshow Collectibles. That's up next. Hello my friends and welcome back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles. My name's Chris, I'm the Batman statue collector, and today I'm going to be reviewing the incredible brand new premium format from Sideshow Collectibles. I'm talking about the Batman Who Laughs quarter scale piece. Again, this is going to be a piece that I'm adding to my Rogues Gallery collection and I cannot wait to review it for you guys. But before we do that, I just want to take a second to thank you guys so very much for tuning in today. You guys were absolutely amazing, and I also want to give a quick shout out to one of my sponsors here on the channel, the coldest water bottle, folks. Absolutely fantastic. This will keep your drinks cold for up to 36 hours plus. And again, I want to give a major shout out to them because I believe in this product, because I drink a lot of water. I want to stay healthy, especially in the year 2022. And so if you're interested, you can save 10% at the link down below with the code Batman. Definitely check that out. And also there's a contest down below to win one of these things. So again, definitely check out coldest water. That would mean a lot to me. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. And so without further ado, let's review this awesome statue from Sideshow Collectibles. Alright guys, so I have Batman Who Laughs from Sideshow Collectibles here up on the table, and of course, you know, this piece did not come without controversy. Obviously people thought that maybe the paint was wonky with it, or it wasn't as good as the prototype. But I'm here to tell you that although there are some areas that I definitely would improve, and I noticed them right away as soon as I did the live unboxing, but I will tell you, after having it in hand, this piece is very impressive. It is very creepy, it is very terrifying, and you know, it might creep some members of your family out for sure. And that's exactly what it's designed to do. I absolutely love the pose. I love the sculpt here. And again, there are a few areas that I might tweak with the paint, and I'm going to get into that whenever I show you all of the close-ups. But overall, I think people are going to be very impressed with this. Again, let me kind of give you a 360 spin. Of course, I'm going to give you a much better look at that 360 here in just a bit. I will give you measurements and all of that good stuff. But I'm here to say that I am incredibly happy that I picked this up, and I can't wait to show you some close-up details. So without further ado, let's do that next. Alright guys, before we get started, I do want to go ahead and show you some of the swap outs in close-up here for you guys, so you can kind of see exactly what you're getting. Now this is of course the regular portrait here, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Again, people were really worried about pink. As you can see here, there are some pink undertones to it, but it makes it look creepier in my opinion, and it's very white in person. But again, I just wanted to kind of show you that. Obviously that visor, kind of a tan color, but it does match all of the other elements on the statue itself. I mean, look at those teeth. They are absolutely incredible, terrifying. I think this is very well painted overall. And again, let me show you some of the back detail here. That looks really good to me. And again, that's the main portrait right there, so I think that's awesome. I also want to show you the axe swap out here, so you can kind of see some of the detail on this. It is very, very well done as well. And of course, it does have a really awesome hand, and I want to show you the veins, because I just think it's painted absolutely beautifully. I really like it. And I'm going to talk about this on the video today, but I do wish that the red was a little bit darker and bloodier. I do feel like that is a bit of a downgrade, but I mean, look at the veins. That is phenomenal. It looks like translucent skin. It's really, really well done. You have all of that great wrapping effect, some nice weathering as well. I think Sideshow did a really, really good job on this here, for sure. Alright, so here is some of that hand detail again on one of the hand swap outs. Really nice texturing here. The paintwork looks beautiful, and again, that just the undercoat of this is just tremendous, the way that they were able to do the veins. Fingernails look great. again, just really, really impressive. I love what they've done with these hands. Here's some of the detail on the actual, upper body. Really impressive with some of the drips and obviously the gold, kind of that bronze look, kind of the reddish color inside. But then just a lot of detail. I mean, it's just really, really well painted, really well done. You can really see all of the detail on it. It's just very, very well sculpted. A lot of weathering effect going on, but I mean, just look how great that top looks. All right, let's take a look at the base without the actual figure on it, because there's so much detail that I might not be able to show you otherwise. But as you can see, that kind of that bloody, whatever that ooze is that is splattered. It's darker here and then starts oozing down. It's like puddled in areas, obviously where his foot goes, and then that puddles down into the actual base. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on the paint job here, because in a lot of photos I've seen, it looks very, very green. And in person, it is greenish, kind of, but it's not really that noticeable. I definitely have some things to say about the bloodish stuff coming down. But again, I just wanted to kind of show you, again, what that looked like. 360 here without the figure on. But again, lots of great details here, as you can see. I just love all of this, grid work. It just looks very futuristic and cool looking. Don't always get to show this to you either, but this is the bottom, really, really cool bottom of the base here. And I got 106 out of 2500 exclusive. But look how cool the colors are, just like the art box. Really, really neat. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you the other portrait here, and this is the exclusive. And as you can see, it's very, very similar to the other one. Of course, his mouth is closed, but I still think that that looks really, really good. Again, all of the same weathering and same effects as the regular portrait. Let me go on and show you them side by side so you guys can see exactly what you're getting. Aren't those creepy as hell? They're so well done. So anyway, hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of the swap outs close up, and let's go ahead and get to the actual review. Alright guys, so here we go. We have them all set up and ready to go for you guys. But again, I just kind of wanted to give you the full effect of this very metal Batman Who Laughs from Sideshow. And so let's go ahead. We always start with the base. And again, the base has been pretty controversial here. Obviously, we have some heroes in the base, which is really cool. And again, in photos and even on camera, it does appear to be green or have kind of a mossy effect. It's a lot more subtle. Now, I do have a light shining on this, so just take that with a grain of salt. Obviously, there's Batgirl's face right there. But it is, again, the green is a kind of a subtle green. It's not green in person, if that makes sense. But what you're seeing on camera, and people have kind of described some of these areas of kind of like a mossy effect. It doesn't really look that way in person necessarily. There are some areas that are a little bit more green, like you can see this area on, I believe this is Nightwing's face. Obviously, he's got those eyes. And then you have this effect of this kind of this blood effect, and it's kind of like a rust blood. I think in the prototype they did a better job. I feel like it's, it still looks okay, but I feel like it looked more realistic. Like these look more like paintbrush strokes to me, like paint areas, than just, falling blood, basically, like the prototype looked. And again, it still looks good in person, and again, with a light shining on it, it's a little bit more noticeable. It's a little darker, of course, in real life. But I think that the rocks do add, some nice visual interest to the piece. Obviously, you have some nice coloring and nice shading throughout. Here's the back side, which again, you wouldn't see too much. You kind of have that same Batcave look right there with the cave. And you even have some of that rust effect kind of coming down off of the actual metal pieces, which is nice. But I think that the paint definitely could have been better there for sure. But really, it's not the color that bothers me. It's really more of the way they painted the brown areas on. Again, it still looks good, but I think it could have been a little bit better. I'm just going to give it kind of a small ding there for that. But again, the base does add a lot of visual interest, and it does really fit the character really nicely. Okay. So then as we move up the statue, you're going to see some nice areas of detail right there. You can really see, it looks like a light on this kind of this metal girder here. This is really, really well done. The colors are really nice. Again, it does continue that same brown effect on there. Kind of all pooled up in different areas. As you can see, it's like it's, you know, it's dripping off of him. But I do think that the metal areas look really nice. Again, lots of detail. I mean, this is all very 3D looking. And you can really see, again, the colors. It's not just gray. There's some you know, patinas of rust, which is nice. Again, it looks good, in my opinion. Then, of course, you also have like areas like this, which is nice. Let me kind of show you the other side, probably a little bit better with the light here. But again, just nice detail. I mean, look at that. Kind of feels very nautical to me. It's really neat. And then again, you know, you step back from it a little bit, you have the rust coming down the side. And I think that looks cool. Little nuts and bolts along the side there as well. But it looks good. Okay, let's check out some of these effects here. The boot. There is some differentiation in color, which is nice as you go up the boot into the pants. So this is a little bit more of a black tan. It's got a little bit of that rust element, but again, look at the detail here. It looks like leather. Again, this one is fully sculpted, which is really nice. But you can really see that detail. Let me go to the other boot while we're at it. You can see some of the weathering on the kind of the steel toe there. But the buckles looks good. And then of course, as you go up the pant leg, you're going to see like a, you know, kind of that pleat. And then you have like some stitching in there. So that looks cool. I love that. Again, it's all sculpted. Looks really good. And then you have more on this side as well. And you notice the weathering on the knee. Adds again some nice visual realism, some visual interest. But I think that all looks really good. I love it. But that's really not what you're here to see. You're here to see this chest and this face, this face sculpt. You even have some of this rusty blood dripping down, which, it's very hard to see with the naked eye. Picks up a little bit better on camera, but I mean, look at that detail. I think it's very well done and very well painted. You notice there's some kind of like some subtle blue in it even. It's kind of, it's not just black. But again, there is a light shining on this, but in person, it just adds a really nice sheen to it. Again, there's weathering along, you could see like weathering here along the corners and that kind of that bluish color, but again, it's very, very subtle. But it adds, again, just a really nice touch of visual interest there. These chains are real. These are real chains, so you wrap them around his arm. Just like that, and there's a couple different things. So there's the hook, which I love, and you just wrap it around. You can kind of make it your own, which looks good. Then you do have these hands. I want you to notice, like, look at the veins. It's got the blue undertone. It's very, very well painted. I will say that the prototype looked better in terms of the blood on his fingers or whatever that was supposed to be. This is much more subtle here. It looks good and subtle in person, but I wish it had been that darker, gooier, bloodier look like the prototype had. But I mean, I do really love that blue undertone because that makes it look very much like flesh. Very, very impressive. And then of course you also have the same thing on this other side. Again, really, really nice effect with the hand. I think it's one of the best paint jobs I've seen in terms of skin. But I do wish that red was in fact darker, for sure. You also then have the chain on the back side as well, and then that one goes into kind of this pendulum. Not sure if I said that right or not. But that looks cool. And then of course you have the great detail on the back. This is fully sculpted. It is a lighter material. But again, you can really see the texturing there. It keys in really nice and easy. And it does continue on, but it looks like kind of like this, flowing evil cape. And it looks really good in my opinion. Then I want to show you the detail here on the arms. I mean, look at that. Look how good that looks. And he does have this, this axe, which again is really, really well painted. Make sure I get that in focus for you guys. Again, you can kind of see the hand there. But I mean, look at the detail here. It's very, very good. I love it. It's got some nice paint, nice weathering. So that's one of the swap outs, of course. You can also do just the regular hand, which I'll show you here in just a minute with the swap outs. But I do want to show you kind of like his, I don't know if you'd say that's armor, his shoulder guards. But, you know, so I saw some photos of this, and it didn't look great in photos, but there, you could still see there's great texture there. Some great separation as well. And again, it just looks very cool with all the buckles. Very Hellraiser-esque. I always compare this character to Hellraiser because it's very similar. There you can see the buckles. Again, like the belt on the back, which is cool. Again, it's all sculpted, but again, it has that kind of that rust running down. That maybe could have been painted a little bit better. But, you know, it's basically just brush strokes, you know. But, I mean, look at that. Look how maniacal that hand is. Very creepy. You have the collar, which looks really great. Love that. All right, let me spin it around here because I know you guys are going to want to see the portrait. All right, let's check this out. So, there's the portrait right there. It does appear pink in a lot of photos. In person, it's very white with pink undertones. It's a very, very good paint effect in my opinion. I'm very impressed with the face overall. Obviously you have some paint differentiation here to kind of separate the black. It's got a little bit of red tone to it. The visor has been controversial. Some people think it should have been silver. It is kind of this, you know, tan color. But again, it's meant to match all of the other elements. So, you know, you have all of these kind of this tan gold element throughout. And that's why they did this. That's why they did that, because it matches aesthetically, color-wise. You have some, like, you know, kind of that rust effect going on in different places. So I think it's well painted. Again, I know some people have said that they want to paint it silver, and I don't think that'd be too difficult to do. But I mean, just look how cool that looks right there. It's just very, very impressive. I love this thing. I think it's great. Again, I think that there are some areas that maybe was downgraded a bit in terms of, you know, production. It's oftentimes very difficult to match the prototype perfectly, but I think this is really awesome. It's really maniacal. And I think Sideshow did a really good job with the paint overall. Look at the stitching on the top. Just looks good. I'm very impressed. I think this is a really awesome piece. I know some people were hesitant, or some people have already canceled it, but I think it's really, really good, guys. And that's just my honest opinion. I was a little bit worried myself. I was thinking, man, am I going to have to, you know, return this? No way. I'm keeping it. I think it looks freaking badass, and I am really, really glad to have it as part of my collection. So anyway, hopefully that gives you guys a good idea. I do want to show you the exclusive here and the other hand swap out, so let's do that next. Alright guys, so here is the other look, and here is the portrait here. This is the exclusive, and it's, you know, this is the big smiling portrait, but it's not as big as the regular. I like the regular better. I don't think this is an EX or fail by any means, but I still think it's a good portrait. But I really like the one I just showed you better. I just think it looks even cooler and more maniacal. But still, it's a nice different take if you want to do something a little bit different. So let me kind of zoom out here and show you kind of exactly what that looks like. And then, of course, instead of the axe, you also have the other hand, which looks good as well. Again, I would have liked them a little bit bloodier looking. But in person, it really doesn't bother me much. And again, I think that would be an easy paint fix if you wanted to swap it up or change it up a little bit, add a little darker paint or something. But I do think the nails look really good on those hands. And again, the paint looks good. It's all crisp and very well done. Again, I know it does appear a little pinkish on camera. But again, this is this is not a human being by any means. This is a creature from the underworld for sure. And so, this one maybe is a little bit more pinkish than the other, but again, it looks white to the eye, but there's so much undertone to give it texture and to give it depth, and so that's why I think sometimes it appears a little pinkish on camera. But really cool portrait. Okay, so I know now you guys are going to want to see him set up next to that guy back there, the Batman Who Laughs, of course, from Prime 1. You guys want to see it side by side? All right, let's check that out next. All right, guys, so here they are together. I knew you guys would want to see them side by side. And again, this is the Prime 1 third scale. Obviously, you know, a lot going on with the base and everything else. But then obviously you also have the Sideshow piece here. And they both look really good. They're both very good representations. Obviously, the Sideshow piece takes center stage with just the Batman Who Laughs, whereas with the Prime 1 piece, you also have the crows. But they both look really good. So if you want to kind of look at the difference in sculpt, there it is right there compared to this one right here. So again, it is different. Obviously, again, you do have the different color with the visors. Obviously, there's a lot more grittiness with the Prime 1 piece. You know, do I still think that the Prime 1 piece is the best statue out there? I do. I still think that this is the best one. However, I do think that this premium format is very, very well done. It looks way better in person. Yes, again, the apps could have been a little bit better on the base, especially on the hands. I do think the face looks good, and maybe the visor would have been nice to have it a little bit more silver. But I know what they were doing. They were trying to get all the colors to kind of match with the buckles and everything else. But anyway, there you go, side by side right there. They look pretty awesome together. And again, if you don't have the Prime 1 piece, I think the Sideshow piece is a really nice alternative, especially at quarter scale. All right, so now it's time to measure this bad boy and see kind of what we get. I'm going to kind of do the length of it first. We're looking at approximately 16 inches in length from the top of this girder, or whatever that is, to this point of this rock. So that gives you an idea. Depth-wise, again, we're not too deep on this piece, and again, these are all approximate, but that is about 11 inches deep. So you're going to need a little bit of a footprint for the depth and the width, and then of course let's measure the height here and see kind of what we're going to get with the height from the top of the ear. That is about 24 inches tall. So this is a tall piece, and it's a sizable piece. I mean, you guys can really see that it's just, you know, it's a bigger, larger piece, epic piece from Sideshow, but hopefully that gives you a little bit better idea of how much space you'll need in your collection. So there you guys have it, the incredible Batman Who Laughs premium format from Sideshow Collectibles. Do I think it's a hit? I do. I think it is very, very well done. There are still some areas that I wish that they had improved in terms of paint. Number one, on the base, I think that the blood dripping down, or whatever that's supposed to be, that could have been done better. I also think that the hands, in the prototype, they looked much more bloody. I think that that could have been cooler. It is a little bit more muted in person. And I think that's something that anybody could even paint and do on their own without any issue. I think that the face sculpts look great. Some people, in photographs, it does look pink. In person, it really doesn't. It looks white with some red undertones, and so I don't think you're going to have to worry about that part of it at all. The only other maybe nitpick, and it really doesn't bother me at all, is the visor. Some people have said it looks like clay, or it just doesn't look like the right color. It should have been silver. I think the reason why they did what they did is because the visor matches the chains. It matches other areas on the statue itself. And so I think that they wanted to keep that same color aesthetic going, and so I am fine with it. And it's an easy paint. If it's something that you really are heart set on and say, hey, I want a freaking silver visor, I think it would be very easy for you to paint. So if that is your only nitpick, I would still pick this up because, again, I think the sculpt is very, very good. I think Sideshow delivered here. Again, sometimes paints are dumbed down a bit, but I'm still overall very, very happy with this piece, and I'm really glad that it is in my collection. I do give it, let's see, how should I rank this one? I'm going to give this one, I think, like 8.9 out of 10. I'm very impressed with it. I love it. I'm really glad to add it to my Rogues Gallery collection. The detail on it is fantastic. I love all of the weathering effects, all of the, it looks like real leather. Of course, it's fully sculpted. I love the chain effect. I think it's very, very well done, and I know some people, again, panicked when they first saw photos, but I'm here to tell you guys, this is a piece that I think you're really going to like. If you were somebody that canceled, I would consider reordering it again. I am very, very glad. I will not be returning mine. I think it looks great, and again, I'm anxious to see it as part of that Rogues Gallery collection. And so anyway, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think about it? Do you guys like it? Has my review helped sway you one way or the other from either picking it up or canceling or whatever? I would love to know in the comments down below. But again, I think that this piece is very, very well done, and I think it is a great alternative to that Prime 1 piece, of course. If you don't have the space or can't find that piece because it's very difficult to find. I still think that that piece is better. But this, in my opinion, is a close second. I love the pose. I love how maniacal it is. And again, it's just a really, really cool piece from Sideshow Collectibles. So what do you guys think about it? I definitely want to know in the comments down below. And with that said, thank you guys so very much for taking time out of your day to watch. If you're new here, please hit that red subscribe button down below. Click that notification bell. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. That really does help with our YouTube algorithm here. And again, I just cannot thank you guys enough for checking this video out today. And again, I give major props to Sideshow. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really glad to own it. And again, I'm excited to get any new villain from Sideshow Collectibles in terms of Batman. Now I'm going to challenge Sideshow once again. Ra's al Ghul, Two-Face, Penguin, Riddler. We want to see these characters made, and hopefully in the 12 days of Sideshow, we will see some of those produced. I would absolutely love to see more villains added to our collections. So again, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon right here in the Batcave. Bye, everybody. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these two awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.